I'm going to start preparing the sur-base molding, and we're going to start dressing the bottom portion here. And we only have so far to go because we can only go over to here and stop. But it gets that done, and then I'll work on the backsplash. And I also want to get a dress piece back in here, so we'll put a piece in there. Which I already have something cut for that. Now, this base molding, this has a very nice edge on it, and as you can see, it matches the door edge. So that's what I want. I want to transfer that right down on our base molding, and that will make a nice profiled edge like that. That'll look very nice, don't you think? So let's get to work, and we'll start trimming these guys in place, and we'll dress this room up. I just made a few improvements here. We have our sur-base moldings installed, and I ran it around the bookcases and this lower base and over here. And we have a nice backsplash here, and I put a piece up in here just so it looks just very nice. So you see a little bit of green and a lot of woodwork, just the way I want it. So I took the measurements over here for this smaller countertop and the upper bookcase. And as I mentioned, the upper bookcase is going to match this. So it's just going to be flat over in this area here. Once we get that installed, then we'll start taking measurements here. And we're going to put some storage up here. It was going to be a ladder bookcase, but I think that is changing. But it is going to have mass. It's going to have mass walnut up there, and the same over the door. And once we get those accomplished, then we can start working on the window frame moldings and this. The customer might change the windows, so I just want to hold off on this here for a little bit, and we'll just get that squared away later on. But right now, my main focus is to get this countertop started in this upper bookcase. So, looks very nice. Very, very nice. The customer has made a change to the library, and it's a very nice change. And what he wants to do is the far right-hand corner next to the windows, and I'll draw this out for you. So let's see if we can zoom in a little bit here. And you're going to see that I'm not the artist you thought I was. So this is the room, okay? And this is the doors. And we come over here, and this is our centerpiece, and above that is our 5-tier bookcase, and over here we have our 56-incher, okay, and then we come to this corner here, and then our windows are over here. It's in this corner here. What he wants to do is we're going to bring the countertop out to here, which will be 16 inches. Let me move this line over a little bit more. So naturally, this countertop comes out 16 inches to here, so we're going to bring this one 16 inches there. Now, we were going to do an angled like this, but the customer came up with a really great idea. What we're going to do is we're going to bring the countertop out here, and that's going to be 16 inches as this, and we're going to come over here. Now, under here is going to be 3 filing cabinets. And then above it, we're still going to stay with the same idea as these corner cabinets out here, but only they are going to be just straight across like that, even with the 56-inch bookcase. So I think that'll be nice. And up top here, he'll be able to put fax machines or any kind of electronic equipment that he wants. So here, this wood here, I'm already selecting the wood that I want to use for the countertop, and we're going to make it out of the same pile of wood. So I had some left over. Actually, I have a few boards left over. So let's get to work. We'll start ripping these into 2.5-inch pieces, and we're going to duplicate it the way we did before. Now I'm going to glue up the countertop, and I have the clamps set nicely. As you can see, I have tape on there so I don't get any glue drippage down on my clamps. Okay, the countertop is set. We're going to let this dry for 24 hours. And we'll glue up a nosing now, so we need to do that. We'll duplicate the nosing as we did on the other one. So let me get to work on that. We have about 20 hours of drying time on this top. It's Friday morning now, and I'm going to unclamp it. So, and we're gonna join it. We don't have to sand this down. We'll run it on the joiner one side, and then we'll run the other side through the thickness planer. And we'll get this top ready for its edging. Some of these high spots. All right. There you go. That's nice. I have the tabletop cut to the size I want, and I already took the liberty of knocking down the edge of the countertop. So we're going to get to work on this now. Now what I'm doing here is I have the saw set up where the blade is coming out of the tabletop 3/8 of an inch. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a groove in the nose of the top and a groove in the nose of the edge. And we're going to use that with the spline as we did before, joining things together. All right, I got the top glued and clamped, so we just have to let it set. And of course in this void we'll put a 3/4 inch shop grade plywood. So it come out pretty nice. And it's heavy. So we'll just sand these edges down. When it dries, we'll give this some time to cure up. And it looks tight. The joint's real nice and tight here. It is a 42 inch wide drawer bank, and it has file drawers underneath, has the Blum Motion drawer glides, which they close by themselves. Now this is going to be placed on the 56 inch bookcase wall, and it's going to go flat, and this side over here will go against the window wall, so we don't have to worry about any finishing on that side. This side here will be placed against the 56 inch bookcase, and what that comes out, it comes out 9 inches. So only this is going to show over here. So come out nice. I made a countertop, and you'll see that later on. And then there's a upper cabinet that goes above it. Just finished assembling the face frame. So as I mentioned before, this is going to match the corner angled cabinets. Of course, this is going to be flat on the wall, and we need this support coming straight up, and that's the same thing as on the corner cabinets. So this is going to be all open here, and then in this area here we're going to put our, these are going to be 17 inch doors. Yeah, they're going to be 17 by the same height as the other ones, which is 22 and 7/8. So it came along really nice, and it lines up on this cabinet carcass really well. So we'll just saddle that up in place, and we got our setback here and a little bit of a setback here. So it's not fastened yet. This is the new addition for the corner next to the window, or to the right hand side of the 56 inch tall bookcase. What the plan called for originally was just an angled countertop, but the customer decided that they wanted to upgrade and add some more storage space for files and other things. So we made this 4-drawer cabinet with 2 file drawers down at the bottom, and just a rectangle top. And we also added this cabinet. Now this cabinet here will match the other 2 angled cabinets, same height and same layout. So It looks very nice. Now this is the new lumber. As you can see, it looks a little bit stripy. So we incorporated some here, and I put some in here too. And I spread it around on this door here. And it's in the drawer faces. But it looks very nice. So that's not a problem. And then we have a finished side here. The opposite side will butt up against the wall. And then this side will not be exposed at all. This will just butt right up here to the 56-inch bookcase. So it looks very nice, and I put an adjustable shelf in here. So we'll get that done a little bit later on. So tomorrow we're going to install it, and of course it's the same drawer track hardware as on the 87-inch. So that comes out very, very nice. Now these are just regular storage drawers. So anyway, looking very nice, and I'm going to put it in the truck pretty soon, and we're going to take it up to the project site and install it tomorrow. I just need to make a few moldings, so I want to add some moldings here. Now, of course, this is going to be set back here, so the 56-inch bookcase will come right to about here. So I want to make a molding, couple moldings here, so just to blend it right in. Well, good morning. I'm in the process of making some cabinet head moldings up, and here's the rest of the bundle here. And I also picked up some lumber the other day. I brought some 6-quarter and some 8-quarter, and we're going to make 2 6-panel doors for the entry point to the library. And these doors are going to be 1 3/4 thick, just the same thickness as a exterior door unit. So we want to keep it nice and hefty looking. So I got some rather nice looking lumber here. And I ran it through the joiner the other day, and I flattened this side out and these 2 sides here. And what we'll do is, in case I need to glue it up, I'll still have plenty of meat. Right now it's about 2 inches thick, 2 1/8. What I'm doing here now, as I glued this up the other day, and I'm knocking these edges off now, and I'm cleaning it up. Now, what is a cabinet head molding, you're probably wondering? Cabinet head molding is a molding, it's a flat molding with a detail on the bottom and the top. And this is my little drawing. And what it consists of is a plank from here to here. It'll be a 3/4 inch plank, and that's going to be about 5 3/4 inch. And then we'll have a beaded molding, and that will be glued and nailed to the bottom of the plank. That's about a 1/2 inch with a little detail on the front. And then this is the actual cabinet head molding up here. And this is about 1 3/8 high, and probably about 1.5 3/4 of depth. So I have a cutter over here that I'm going to use, and this is called a Philadelphia Reveal molding cutter. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to run it through, but later after it's ran, I'm just going to save this part of the molding, and that is going to be our cabinet head. So we have some nice work to do here today. So let me put the camera on a tripod, and we'll square these up and get these cleaned today. Okay, I have the cutter head set up and the power feeder set up, and we're going to run a sample piece through just to see how it pans out. This is a piece of 2x4, and it's squared up on all of its edges, so it'll make a nice sample piece. The cutter is set at the proper height and depth, and we're going to do reverse rotation, and that's climb cutting. and that's the best way to cut to alleviate any tear out. So let's swing the power feeder in place. Now, just to give you an idea what I'm up to, I just ran the cabinet head, and again, this is the cabinet head. And then again, when it's all put together, it's also referred as a cabinet head. So it's upside down right now. Now, this distance right here, this is probably about a 1/2 inch, so I'm going to leave it alone for now. But I'm probably going to knock a little bit off of the back and get a reveal of probably about maybe a 1/4 inch, 5/16. So it's coming along very nice. And then we have to put a bead molding. It's kind of like a doorstop, and now we'll complete it. So that's what I'm up to now. I'm going to change the cutter head over, and we're going to run some planks down, and we're going to make a beaded molding, and that will be laid right up top. So let me get to work on that for you. Just a very light cut it is. There's not much being removed.